What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Stebrunsky here, and today's build video has been highly requested. So many people have asked me to make a dual Dragon Paladin viable or try to make a build centered around those two rune words. I'm going to change things up a little bit. We're going to Hand of Justice, Dragon for the armor, and then Dual Dream and make an Auradin. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I was kind of blown away at how effective this build actually is. The AoE elemental damage is insane. You have great mobility with charge, and the freeze on target on striking and the hit blinds target actually provides ridiculous safe crowd control when you're surrounded by monsters. Now, unfortunately, this is a stupid expensive build, so I know some people are going to sound off in the comments, but I really do think that this build in patch 2.4 is going to be one of the best melee builds possible. And the reason I think that is because they planned on, at least in the dev stream, significantly buffing the Holy Fire damage. And half of this damage is physical, half is lightning, and then a small portion is fire. With a substantially boosted Holy Fire, I really do think this build is going to shine in 2.4. But again, just sound off in the comments if you guys disagree. But I do want to let you guys know that I do have timestamps below, so if you want to navigate between certain segments of the video, they're there for you guys to use, so please take advantage of them. And also a quick reminder before we jump in, just want to let you guys know if you do enjoy this YouTube content, I do stream twice a week on Twitch. And I do have the link for my Twitch channel in the description below as well, so any follows over there would be very much appreciated. That being said, guys, let's jump in. So as far as the attribute distribution goes, this build is no different than any sort of standard Paladin build. I have enough strength to equip my gear, enough dexterity for max block with Holy Shield. Again, the skill Holy Shield makes it so easy to reach max block, so I typically always recommend going max block with any Paladin build, and it doesn't really change with the Auradin. And I have nothing into mana, and then everything else is put into Vitality, so I have 2040 life prior to battle orders, which is pretty solid because the majority of this damage is elemental. I do have some physical damage, but I don't leech back a ton with the life leech on this build, so having a pretty high life pool is very nice, and I do have almost 3,500 life after I buff up with battle orders. So very solid build, but kind of your standard Paladin attribute build spec. So moving on to the skill tree, first starting off with the defensive auras, I put 20 air points into Salvation, Resist Lightning, and Resist Fire. That's because these three skills provide damage synergies to Holy Fire and Holy Shock, which is granted to the Auradin from Hand of Justice, Dragon, and the Dual Dream Shield Helmet combo. So you really want to make sure you put 60 hard points into these three skills. And then moving on to the offensive auras, I put 24 hard points into Conviction and then all of the prerequisites. The reason why I went to 24 is because that provides negative 145% all resistance. And then the highest you can actually get is negative 150, which I get from Battle Command. So I would just stop at 24. And then moving on to the combat skill tree, I put 1 hard point into Holy Shield and all its prerequisites, 1 hard point into Zeal. Really just need to make sure that you get 5 hits with Zeal. And then I put all my remaining points into Sacrifice because that provides a 12% per level damage synergy to Zeal, where every single successive point you put into Zeal only gives you 8% damage. So it's actually more ED. Now I do want to stress here that you could, if you wanted to, put extra points into Holy Shield if you want more defense and max block, but I decided to just add a little bit extra physical damage. Again, it's totally up to you, but pretty much once you have your Conviction aura and then your defensive aura tree is maxed, kind of have some freedom to sort of play around, but I went the route of Sacrifice just because I wanted some extra damage. So as far as the gear goes, I do want to really stress that this is a super expensive build. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. An Auradin requires stacking multiple auras. Rune words that have auras are very expensive, so that's just kind of the way it is. Starting off with the weapon, I am using Hand of Justice and a Phase Blade. So Sword, Cham, Am, and Low, this gives me the level 16 Holy Fire. A lot of other cool attributes and interesting ones like Ignore Target Defense, Deadly Strike, but the really two standout attributes are Hit Blinds Target and Freezes Target. You'll see this in action, but with very successive Zeal hits, I can literally immobilize even more than like Decrep and Clay Golem, because they actually don't move. That's the freeze on target. It's very underrated. It kind of makes me want to experiment with some really fast-hitting weapons that have cham runes in them, but maybe fast uniques. Anyways, that's besides the point. The armor is Dragon, so again, we're stacking the Holy Fire aura, so level 14, level 16, that's 30. Now, there's not really anything else that's too crazy. The chance to cast Venom when struck is helpful. The 12% chance to cast level 15 Hydra doesn't really do much. It's more for style points. The maximum lightning res is okay. Strength based on character level is okay. We're really just using the expensive Sewer Low Soul armor for that Holy Fire aura. And then the helmet and shield is just the Dual Dream combo for that level 15 Holy Shock, stacked with another level 15 for level 30. That's the 4 key pieces of this build: Dual Dream, Dragon, and Hand of Justice. Everything else is just sort of standard melee stuff, so I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. Offhand is Cetane's Spirit, Amulet is High Lord's Wrath, I have a Dual Leech Ring, String of Ears, Raven Frost, Laying of Hands, and Gore Rider Boots. Different assorted max damage, attack rating, plus life Grand Charms, so different mix here of stuff I found. And then the same thing for the small charms, max damage, attack rating, plus life, an Annie, and a Paladin Torch. So as far as the Mercenary goes, again, a super expensive geared setup, but I realized that when I did a little bit of digging with the IS calculator that I have the max IS breakpoint, regardless of whether or not I have a Faith Mercenary, which I was experimenting on stream. But I decided to go with something that's a little bit different. Again, it's super expensive, but I don't really rely on massive physical damage, so I don't see the point of using a Reaper's Toll. So I decided to go with a Doom Act 2 Mercenary. Now the cool thing about Doom is that, again, very expensive, but the Rune Word grants a Holy Freeze aura. So the level 12 Holy Freeze aura allows me to use a Might Mercenary and get both of those auras at the same time. And then for the rest of his gear, just Fortitude and a Chant V-Gaze. So he has Dual Leech, Hard Hitting, Damage, Holy Freeze for crowd control. And Doom itself is actually a pretty cool rune word. So this combination, I think, really suits this Auradin build because, again, I'm not really relying on a Reaper's Toll Mercenary or any of the other sort of standard meta setup. But that's the gear in its entirety, guys. So I'll do a quick Chaos Sanctuary run, again, on some varying difficulties. So we'll go players 1 and 3, and then I'll jump to a Bale run, and then do that on the highest player's difficulty setting, so you can see this build in different areas as well as different varying difficulties. So there's one last thing that I want to showcase, and that is the overall damage output of this build. I have almost 10k damage that's in striking. Now that does not include the pulse damage, which I believe is somewhere in the range of 5,000, which might seem a little bit low, but again, I'm reducing monster resistances quite a bit from Conviction. So they have negative 150, which in most cases is going to bring the majority of monsters down all the way to negative 100. So it's actually a lot more damage than what it shows on paper. But let's just jump into the run. Now, again, the coolest thing is just charge with this build. Just how you can get around so quickly. It's unreal. And again, you can see, like, not really having any problem. This is only P1, and I'm going to go up to P3. But I mean, yeah, I just completely melt shit. Hydras look cool. They don't really do a lot of damage, though. I mean, they're level 14, which is, I think, is maybe like 100 fire damage per Hydra shot. I guess it all adds up, like the pulse damage, a little bit of physical damage, Hydra damage. Again, you can kind of see with like the Doom, the Holy Freeze, and then the striking. The freeze strikes on target. It just completely stops stuff in its tracks. Okay, so now I'll jump up to P3. That gives you a good idea what it's like on players 1. Let's bump up the difficulty a little bit. Now notice how those guys, they're not slow. They just actually don't move. That's the freeze strikes on target from Hand of Justice. Now it doesn't work on boss packs or champions, but just regular monsters. Even if you don't one-shot them, I can actually physically stop them from moving as long as I can strike them again quick enough before the freeze on target wipes out. So it's really cool. It makes me kind of wonder if there's some cool builds that I can make. Like, I don't know, triple chammed Hone Sedan or something. I think that stacks an insane amount of freeze on target. Maybe I'll make a two-handed Zealot with Hone Sedan. Yeah, just kind of making everything blind. They can't see and they can't move. Can't really do anything to you. There's Volcano procs from the Doom and the Mercenary as well. And a little bit of added benefit. Have some AoE pulse damage as well. And a little gull rune there. We'll come back for it later. I don't even have room with my full inventory charm. We'll have to go back and get the gull rune later. That's what you get for not checking your loot in a build video. Oh well. Good stuff. I should really turn that on more frequently during build videos. We'll leave the gull rune for now. If you guys actually watched this video this far, please leave #gull in the comment section. So we are slowing down a bit on P3 compared to P1. The decrep from these mages does not help at all, but pretty cool build. Hydra's proccing. The cool thing is if you're lucky enough with your striking, you can proc more Hydras on the ground than what you can actually have if you were like casting them as a sorceress. So sort of similar to the same way Rifson can proc more frozen orbs than what you can actually cast, or faster than you cast as a sorceress. Get the same effect with Hydra. Again, unfortunately, Hydra doesn't really do any damage. This is a P3 Diablo kill. So it's alright, not the best, but we'll crank the slider down to P1. Grab some mana pots. And then we'll do a player's a Bale Wave to wrap up the video. Turn the map on. This is a new map. I really do love charge. I think that I could play without Enigma if I'm a paladin. That's just how good charge is. Just find the next level. And so we'll clear the throne room on players 1 and then jump it up to P8. You'll really get to see how effective the freeze on target is, slowing down Bale. Or excuse me, wave 5 and wave 4. You really get to see how effective it is. Okay, so we're gonna pump this up. Players 8. So the hardest that you can get. If you get that little confuse proc from Dream as well, you can at times trick Bale into thinking the wave is dead. See, right now they're confused, so he's going to cast the third wave even though that second wave is here. Interesting. I'm making more hiders than you. Get out of here, wave 3. I just want to pull the 4th and 5th wave a little bit away. Don't want to get decrept. There's just something about staring at these targets that can't move. I don't know. Okay. I want to bring you way down here, Merc. Just want to do this on my own. I just watch how the waves can't move. Like, they're actually frozen. It's the coolest thing about the Hand of Justice and then just being able to strike so quickly. Hydras and volcanoes and firestorm procs from the torch. I just can't get over that. Actually frozen. It's just so cool. Again, I'm gonna try some crazy triple chammed Ethone Sedan two-handed zealot build or something. So I unfortunately did this on players 8. I forgot to back it down to P3. So Bale's gonna be interesting. This is gonna be a slow Bale kill, but got Hydra shooting at him, torch procs, volcano proc from the Doom Mercenary, pulse damage. Bale's loud. And okay, so nothing. Better make sure I go back for that Gull Rune. But guys, that wraps up everything I want to cover for the Auradin. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it for what it is, a super expensive but fun build. So I ran through Chaos Sanctuary, varying difficulties, did Bale, players 8 waves, as well as players 8 Bale. Overall a solid build, but I really do think that with the next patch, with the buffed Holy Fire damage, that this will be a super powerful build. But again, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And as always, if you guys could throw a like on this video, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content on YouTube, and I do stream twice a week on Twitch. If any follows on Twitch or subs on YouTube would be amazing. Other than that, guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll catch you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.